Hello, my name is Josh Atkinson, and you have once again stumbled upon my portrait painting YouTube channel. So today we're gonna look at a portrait. Shocker. It's this one. This young man, he's a child actor from a horror film from '72 called The Other, I think. But I think the focus of today's lesson is it's not a lesson, this is just how I paint. Today's video is just going to be more exploring the sort of wipeout method that I did last week with this painting. So if you'd like to see how I made this portrait, then just keep on watching and I will do the time lapse. So here's the source image and here is our time lapse. So as you can see, like last week, I am using an old pair of underwear to scrape out the light areas. This is the second time I'm doing that with a portrait, and I'm doing it because I found that it was the best way to keep the features in the correct proportions when I'm painting them on a larger scale like I am here. So I went with a lighter base. The last video I used burnt umber as the thinned out paint layer, and this time I just sort of mixed up something that was a bit more of a purpley tan, because I thought maybe it would make more sense to use a mid-tone than a shadow tone, but I don't think it makes a difference. So right now I am filling in the body tone, the body shadow, and the sort of transitional color, a bit of a red, probably made out of primarily cadmium red, maybe some permanent rose. You just kind of put that in the areas where like on his right cheek, the cheek on the right side of the screen, you can see the light. It's round, his cheek is round, so the form is traveling, the light is traveling across, like over it, and so that using that red in between tone creates that sense of receding. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing, trying to get the nose right. Noses are so, you get to know your own weird habits as a painter, and I'm just shocked that people's noses are the size that they are. And I don't mean to say that anybody's got a big nose. This kid clearly doesn't have a big nose, but like, there's something about my like hand-eye painting like identity that just expects noses to be very, very tiny, and they're actually pretty, they're pretty big. I don't know, maybe you should go look at yours. Mine's bigger than I thought. But anyway, and now I am beginning to throw some fun colors in, but I also, in the underside of his head, I painted the reflection of the white shirt, which is sort of blued. Because the way that I learned was that, there really isn't anything as true, like, there's no such thing as a white or a brown or a gray or a black. Like, everything has to be one of the secondary or primary colors: red, yellow, blue, purple, green, orange. So the white of his shirt, I'm probably going to be making it out of like yellow ochre plus titanium white. So then the shadow would be made out of the complement of yellow, so a purple, a neutralized purple. You neutralize it by adding the complement. So I would have added some yellow ochre to it. I haven't even started painting it yet, but I can see the reflection from the source image on the what do you call it, the underside of the kid's head. It was a tricky thing in this painting, uh, painting that, because it does sort of make him look a little pudgy, and he's not an overweight child. He's just a child, so he's got, baby fat. That's what baby fat means. It's a compliment when people tell you you still have it. But anyway, so yeah, I'm just refining, trying to get the likeness, trying to determine the edge of the cheek. Um, yeah, that's what's happening. Um, Mixing up. I try to put the tube of paint into the frame when I'm painting so that y'all, if there's like a few seconds with nothing happening, that you'll know what it is. Now with the hair, I throw in some of my quote unquote black, which is not real black. It's burnt umber mixed with ultramarine blue. And then I threw in some of a brown. I tend to just make my own brown as a sort of mid-tone, just mixing like equal parts of cadmium red and sap green, so that's probably what that is. But I threw it into like I already had sort of a mid-tone laid down for his hair, so then I threw in those shadow tones, but I did something smart here, which I have since forgotten to do several times. I put them down and I'm letting them not dry exactly, but just set, just get a little firmer, a little tackier before I go in adding lighter uh, colors, highlights and stuff. With the shirt, I'm just, you know, keeping the brush strokes loose, blocking it in. Now here's the highlights, and I just kind of smash them in. It looks super fast in a time lapse. It wasn't quite this fast, obviously, but this is some of the best hair I've ever painted. Like I gotta remember to start with the mid tone, let that dry, put the dark tones, and let them kind of dry, and then add the mediums and the highlights because that really worked. Now I'm just using a really itty bitty brush to give his eyeballs that thing that I don't know what the word is. Is there a word for like the sort of dark edge of the iris? Actually, I don't know if everyone has one. But anyway, he did. So throwing that in. Not thrilled with the background, so further experimentation will happen there. And then my old man painting popped up in the background. I guess I moved it in between. More of this itty bitty brush. But yeah, this is a kid from, as I said in the intro, basically forgotten horror movie called The Other. I had to like log on to like Russian Facebook to find it. Watched it a few months ago. Didn't think it was all that great. People talk about it like it's this lost treasure. I can't really say I agreed with that, but the acting was good. It had Uta Hagen, and if you ever like took a college acting class, you probably had to read Respect for Acting. It's a rare cinematic appearance of a woman whose career was mostly teaching acting and working on stage. I think she originated the role of Martha in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. But that has nothing to do with oil painting. Um, so anyway, yeah, now here we get the background to work. This is definitely another titanium white with yellow ochre. Um, I love how choppy it is. I think what I was trying to do here was have it mimic the pattern of the highlights of his hair. That's ultimately what I'm always after, is just having a consistency of brush strokes, have them create a sense of motion. Oh, and now we're done. Here's the finished painting. It is an 11 by 14 oil painting on canvas panel. So then, yes, this is how we arrived. How I arrived at this portrait of this young man whose name I did not look up because, well, if you're subscribed to my channel, then you know I don't believe in doing that. Um, Kidding, I'm just irresponsible. And if you are subscribed newly to my channel, I think I'm up to 155. So thank you for that. It's much appreciated. Us small channels. But I think that's everything I've got to say about this portrait. If you got something out of this, then definitely feel free to check out last week's video, which was about this painting, which was the first time that I applied the sort of wipeout method to block in the features for my portrait. So yeah, I guess that's everything. I will see you in 7 days with another portrait. I think it might be a big one. Very exciting. All right, so see you then, and I don't know. Have a happy summer. I hate summer, but I don't know. Maybe you do enjoy it. Anyway, okay, bye bye.